engaged and for everyone to learn about the district in a safe and productive manner. We hear from our community in a number of ways. Community input at our board meetings must be respectful and civil. In order to complete the work and have safety of community, students, staff, and board members, we are online. This is consistent with our policies. We have the example for our children that are watching or participating. Our ability to have meetings civilly is what makes our community strong. We will begin with the native land acknowledgement. Vice Chair Benaloga will lead the acknowledgement this evening.
We acknowledge the land on which we sit and which we call the North Clackamas School District rests on the traditional and indigenous lands and village sites of the native peoples of the Kalapuya, Chinook, Molalla, and the Clackamas. We take this opportunity to offer gratitude for the ability to learn, work, and be a community on this land, and we offer thanks to the original caretakers of this region. We recognize the historic policies of colonization, genocide, relocation, and assimilation that affected Indigenous and Native families, both past and present, and that will affect those in the future, and honor the resilience and revitalization of our Indigenous and Native communities. We pay our respects to the elders, both past and present, who have been the stewards of this land throughout the generations.
Thank you, Vice Chair Benaloga. Next, we will do our flag salute. Board members, please turn off your camera and I will lead the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, on our agenda, the minutes from November 17th are the next item we'll deal with. It's in your board packet. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
I move that we approve minutes from November 17th, 2022.
Thank you, Director Way. Is there a second?
Director Benaloga, second.
Thank you. Any discussion? I'll call for a vote. Director McVeigh.
I'll abstain because I missed that meeting.
Okay. Director Schradel.
Aye.
Director Way.
Aye.
Director Way, I think you're on mute.
I'm so sorry. Aye.
I still couldn't hear you, but maybe you can now do thumbs up.
Oh, okay.
Now I can.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, everybody. Yes, thumbs up and aye.
Okay, thank you. Vice Chair Benaloga.
Aye.
And myself is aye. So motion passes, vote of 4, and in favor, 1 abstain. In the board packet, you will find the consent agenda for this evening's meeting. There's quite a few items on that. The employment changes, policy revisions ad hoc committee, preschool promise committee, curriculum, travel request for Milwaukee High School girls basketball, travel request, Rex Putnam High School girls basketball, travel request, Sabin Schellenberg Professional Technical Center construction group. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda? And please read all of the items.
Director Benaloga, I move board approval of the consent agenda, including employment changes, policy revisions ad hoc committee, preschool promise curriculum, travel request Milwaukee High School girls basketball, travel request Rex Putnam High School girls basketball, travel request Sabin Schellenberg Professional Technical Center construction group.
Thank you. Director Benaloga, is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Director Way. Any discussion?
Chair Bauer, I just have a clarifying question to ask staff, if that's okay. I know that this is a large number of things that are included in the consent agenda, and just being part of the ad hoc committee where we looked at several of these policy revisions. I just wanted to ask staff, once we go forward with the vote, if these changes will be reflected online for community, for the public to also access. I know that they are, but given the changes, I just wanted to ensure that the public will have the most recent updated versions of our policies available.
Tiffany Sharman, would you answer that? Thank you.
Sure, Director Way, thanks for the question. Yes, they will be. They'll be on our website, the North Clackamas School District Policy website. It takes sometimes a week or two for those to get updated. They get routed through the Oregon School Boards Association. But as soon as you take action, they do become the policy in effect.
Thank you, Chief of Staff Sharman. Any other discussion, question? Okay, I'll call for a vote on the motion. Director McVeigh,
Aye.
Director Schradel,
Aye.
Director Way,
Aye.
you're mute.
It's so weird. I'm sorry. Aye.
I still didn't hear. Can you give a thumbs up or down? Okay, I see thumbs up, so I'll say that's an aye. Vice Chair Binaloga,
Aye.
and myself is aye. So the motion passes a vote of 5-0. Thank you, board. Next, community input. This is an opportunity for our community to share their ideas and opinions with the board. Input is welcome and valued. It is our duty to keep it safe and respectful for everyone, students, staff, and our community. This is not a time for discussion or debate. If you have materials for the board, please send them to the board's executive assistant, who will distribute them to the board members after the meeting. Letters to the board are welcome, and each of us reads the input. Requests for information should be requested as outlined in the policy KBA-AR, which I'll read now. Any individual desiring to speak will have indicated their desire prior to the board meeting. A speaker will be required to give their name, city of residence, and the group, if any, that is represented. If there are more patrons to present comments than time allows, the board chair has authority to reduce the presentation time for individual speakers or institute a prioritization process with first priority to students, then attention to order of sign up and city of residence. Speakers may offer objective criticism of district operations and programs that are of concern to them. The board is restricted from hearing and will not consider complaints regarding any individual district staff member or any person connected with the district. As an organization centered around youth and their positive development, all speakers will model respectful public comment, be mindful of civil discourse. The board vests in its chair or its presiding officer authority to terminate the remarks of any individual when those remarks do not adhere to the rules established in this policy. A wide variety of individuals attend our board meeting, including students. Public comment must be appropriate for the audience, must not cause a disturbance, must not create a hostile environment for those in attendance. Inappropriate language is not permitted. You will be given one warning and then will be asked to be removed. The public has many ways of communicating with the board, including through written comment. In some circumstances, it may be more appropriate for members of the public to communicate with written comments. In order to ensure that persons who wish to appear before the board may be heard, at the same time conduct this meeting properly and efficiently, speakers will limit their comment to 2 minutes. Time will begin after you state your name and residence. Our agenda allows 15 minutes for community input. There will be no transferring of your minutes to another except a parent or guardian speaking for a child. We will keep the order of speakers announced by the chair. After making your public comments, please exit the Zoom room you may continue watching the board meeting on North Clackamas School District YouTube channel. Our first speaker tonight is Michael Corbus.
On the camera, bottom left.
Is
Other-
Michael?
It's on.
Okay, welcome, Michael. You have 2 minutes,
Push
and
down.
your daughter has 2 minutes, and your wife has 2 minutes.
Yes.
And
All right,
one of you,
Turn it up. Before we get started, we're going to do the same thing we've done in the past.
no, we're changing that. You have 2 minutes, your wife has 2 minutes, and you choose who wants to speak for your child.
Yeah, I'll speak for Kylie.
Okay,
So
so you get
over-
4 minutes, and then Jennifer will get 2 minutes after that.
Hey,
Okay, so we want you to stop it after 4 so that we can change spots.
are you going to make us go to the other link for Jennifer?
The other link, which
Well, there's 3 links, 3 Zoom links. Can we all
I
go?
think, no,
No,
you
you-
can just stay there and then you can change places. That's fine. So you're speaking 4 minutes, Michael, and then we'll wait, and then Jennifer can speak too.
All right, you're giving us some obstacles.
Michael, I will just rerun when it hits 2. I will just rerun it since you're going for 4. Okay.
But you're not gonna start till after we introduce
Okay,
ourselves.
you'll
right?
pick up after me. All right,
Yeah,
we'll switch spots.
but they're not gonna start it until you introduce yourself.
Yeah, so
Get ready.
hang on one sec. Can we ask, before you start the time, can we ask a question? Because Mitzi had mentioned last week about some investigation. First we ever heard it, or last time we did this.
Okay,
Can we
you can
ask
talk about that in your 2 to 4 minutes, okay?
No, okay, we'll skip that. All right, are you ready?
Yeah, your name, city of residence, and then we'll start the timer.
Okay, Michael, Oak Grove, Milwaukee. I want to remind you tonight of what got this whole thing started besides the hateful messages directed at my son and disabled daughter. A well-meaning teacher violating the civil rights and freedom of religion of my son Levi at his public high school in the district, which I detailed on October 13th school board meeting. A civil rights lawsuit would almost certainly be a slam dunk, but we are not looking to do so at this time and don't want to get any teachers fired. We are looking to create real and lasting change in the public schools without involving litigation if possible. I've also spoken of not so well-meaning teachers out there whose intentions and motives are not so pure and are on display for the whole world to see. They seemingly hate Christians and conservatives, or at least are hostile to them and unashamed to tell everyone about it. They believe that no one will call them out because they are on the good side, unlike those oppressive conservative Christians. One example is a teacher who shall remain nameless, who works over at Sabin-Schellenberg. Keep in mind, she is just one example of many. She watched my school board speech, which I posted to Twitter from back on the 13th, about the awful hate messages my son and disabled daughter received. To my surprise, she completely ignored the hateful bullying of the LGBTQ activist bullies, only to focus on accusing me of lying about
Don't show anyone any email,
No,
please.
there's no names. Pause the time.
Pause the time. You're wasting.
Go
our-
ahead, go ahead.
Okay, we should get
Go.
4 seconds. Don't start it for 4 seconds. We're not showing names. Let me just show you real quickly.
There's
Everything
no-
is
Okay.
blacked out.
Yep.
Everything is blacked out, okay?
Continue.
Okay, hold on. To my surprise, now, hang on a second. Hold on,
Gotta
let me
let
find my
you
spot.
again.
Okay. To my surprise, she completely ignored the hateful bullying of the LGBTQ activist bullies, only to focus on accusing me of lying about having LGBTQ friends. In her mind, LGBTQ people and Christians or conservatives can't possibly be friends. I beg to differ. All right, we have friends here with us tonight. Now, you may say that is not what she meant, but let's take a look at her own words from her public Twitter account and see how she feels about Christians and conservatives. And remember, this teacher is at Sabin-Schellenberg. She came to me. I did not seek her out. Okay, here she takes a shot at conservatives. This is what GOP slugs do. And then has a hashtag, dumbass pile of rocks. Okay.
Please, no more language. Please, inappropriate language.
Here is one where she implies that conservative Christians are a cult. Says, vote down the ballot for every Democrat this year. We need to stop the cult. Here is a retweet she did that slanders Christian conservatives. Why does the party of religious conservatives harbor the vast majority of rapists, child sex traffickers, grifters, liars? Here she suggests people who choose to not take the vaccine, many who are conservatives and Christians, will soon die. Says, why argue with an anti-vaxxer when you can wait? Okay, it's offensive. I could go on and on with more tweets from her. She, like the LGBTQ bigoted bullies, is prolific with the hate and hostility towards conservatives and Christians. Can you imagine being a Christian or conservative student in her class? Did she give bad grades to students who did not share her same opinion on Christianity and conservatives? Or did she create a culture of silence among students who disagree with her? This is worth looking into. This is what the oppressor-oppressed ideology leads to. Let me say, I do not believe all teachers are like this. Most teachers are reasonable people. I have two teachers here tonight. Reasonable people, although they may disagree on certain viewpoints, they can respect those students and parents who might see the world differently. They care for their students and families in a selfless manner. But unfortunately, those teachers are not creating the culture in public schools. It is the loud, vocal, hyper-progressive, actually regressive, activist teachers, administrators, and board members that set the agenda and culture. They use fears of social and economic destruction of those who disagree to push their sexual and gender indoctrination and one-sided political view. They vilify those who counter their worldview with their favorite epithets: racist, homophobe, sexist, misogynist, xenophobe, white supremacist, and their new favorite, Christian nationalist. Conservatives and progressives, those of faith and non-believers, all share the public school system and pay taxes for it. But
Michael, your time is up, and now it's Jennifer. It's time. Please switch spots.
You hold this up.
Your name, city of residence, Jennifer.
Jennifer Corbis and Milwaukee, Gladstone, Oregon. Conservatives and progressives, those of faith and non-believers, all share the same public school system and pay taxes for it. But equitable representation is way out of balance, as evidenced by this teacher over at Sabin Schellenberg. The political banners on the walls in some classrooms and the students, like the ones who posted hateful messages towards our son Levi and our disabled daughter Kylie with no reservation. The only way this inequity towards Christians and conservatives can be explained is because you believe Christians and conservatives are the oppressors and are actively teaching this in our schools. Exposure is all that will fix this problem, and bring equity for all to the public schools, not just the latest victim group. We want to hear the stories of students and families, teachers, and even administrators who have experienced discrimination or hate from your Christian beliefs or conservative political views. Text your stories to 503-740-4403 and know this: you are not a victim in sharing these stories, but you are helping fix the public schools so that they represent all of us, not just a few.
Thank you. Next on our community input list is Andrea Smith.
I don't see that. I don't see anybody in the waiting room by that. Only Angela and Peterson and Brett Duex at this point.
Okay, we can come back to Andrea if she's there. Angela Peterson next. Is Angela there?
She should be entering. It takes a second.
Okay. I think you're gonna have to start your clock again or reset it.
Okay.
I will.
Okay. Okay. Welcome, Angela. You can state your name and your city of residence.
Okay, can you see me?
Yes, and I can hear you.
Okay. Yes, hi, this is Angela Peterson from Oregon City. And I just want to let you know that it has been brought to our attention that the on-campus student health centers are providing medical treatments without parents' or guardians' knowledge. 2 separate instances led to dangerous side effects that endangered students in the care of the district. One incident happened at Nelson High School last year when a 15-year-old girl sought birth control during school hours. She was provided the implant under the skin of her upper arm. The student began bleeding regularly for over a period of 4 months. Her mother was unaware that her daughter had the birth control implant placed, and the girl was taken to her doctor for this problem. It was discovered that as a result of the implant, she was anemic, and the doctor had to remove it. The other student was a 16-year-old girl at Milwaukee High School who had been struggling with mental illness and depression from childhood trauma. She sought counsel for gender transition at Milwaukee High School's Health Center in 2018. She was transported off campus to a referred clinic to receive gender affirming treatment in the form of an injection to stop her from menstruating. Her adoptive guardians were not aware of any of this. Shortly following this gender affirming injection, this child had a mental breakdown. Where were the School of Medical Professionals when it came to understanding how vulnerable this child was, and that providing such injections and treatment with known side effects could worsen her depression? What right does the school district have in determining invasive medical treatments for minors without appropriate precautions for serious side effects, without the knowledge of parents or guardians? When it comes to the issues of gender, I'd like to say that there is no wrong way to be a boy, male, girl, or female. Gender non-confirming children are not trans. Why does the district and the healthcare partners encourage minors going through identity issues to seek medical transition? We don't affirm those with anorexia by encouraging them to starve themselves. So why are we encouraging children to mutilate their bodies and change their bodies?
Thank you, Ange. Next is Brett Duack.
Should be entering now.
Brett, are you there? I don't see him yet.
He's still connecting. I can see him now.
Okay,
Audio might be connecting.
okay.
Can you guys hear me?
I hear you, Brett. I don't see you, but Seth, do you see him?
Yep, we can see you.
Okay, go ahead, Brett. You have 2 minutes. State your name, city of residence, please.
Okay, it's Brett Duack, Happy Valley.
You speak up a little bit or be a little bit closer to your microphone. It's kind of low.
Okay, how's that?
A little bit better.
Okay. Well, Brett Duax and Happy Valley. So here we are again. So 247 days. So this is how many days have gone by since the parents started to state our grievances to this board. So what do we know so far? CRT, bullying, vandalism, gender dysphoria, porn, and poor academic curriculum is still in our schools. And still nothing has been done by this board to accommodate parents and students' requests to eliminate these issues. This really is conduct unbecoming of a director that does not listen to the grievances of the parents. In addition, we know that this board has been notified and served on violations against ORS codes against mandatory reporting. Also, paperwork has been served to the higher officials directing investigations against the board's violations. So I'm not sure this board fathoms the severity of the situation that you are in right now, but it's not good. We had hoped and given you many chances to act on behalf of concerned parents, but blatantly chose not to. This inaction to parents' logical and appropriate request is totally inexcusable. The fact that our concerns to the board have been reduced to 2 minutes and move online shows a lot about your character. It's obvious that you're afraid to see the parents in person. But again, we're not an angry mob. We're concerned parents, and I know you guys would do the same if the situation was reversed. Parents have given you many chances to correct this sinking ship, and now we're at a pivotal phase. So either resign, face a recall, or let the investigation continue and possibly be charged with a felony crime. Over the last couple months, hundreds of parents have woken up and seeing how bad this situation is, and it's growing every day. The question is, when will the board wake up and understand that it's the parents that run the schools, not the board, not the district or otherwise? Again, the parents are the ones that are in control.
Thank you. Let's go back, and there was one other person, Andrea Smith. Is she in the waiting room?
There's nobody else in the waiting room.
So let's just take a 5-minute break to get back on track where we are with the meeting. So see you back in 5 minutes. Just take a little recess. Welcome back, everyone. Next on our agenda, we are lucky to have NCA Representative Melinda Ryan to present the North Clackamas Education Association Featured Educator. Welcome, Melinda.
Thank you very much, and good evening, board and everyone else. It is my great pleasure this evening to introduce to you December's North Clackamas Education Association featured educator, Ivana Turner. Ivana is a chemistry and AP physics teacher at Adrian C. Nelson High School and also advises the Gender and Sexuality Alliance Club at Nelson High School. She was nominated by members of the staff there, and this is what one of them had to say about Ivana. In the midst of a new curriculum, getting to know almost 200 new students and caring for class critters like fish and crawdads and snails, Turner has focused on allyship for staff who identify as part of the LGBTQ plus community. Turner was instrumental in the work of getting the LGBTQ plus staff support outlined for administrators and is continuing that work by building personal community connections. I am so thankful for this desperately needed support. We need affinity if we wish to retain staff that reflect our diverse student population. Turner doesn't just talk about it, but does something about it. Another staff member said, "If it wasn't for Turner, things would be much more difficult for me here. The work Turner has done has helped me feel less isolated as an openly gay teacher at this school. I know that I can always go to Turner for help and support because I will not be judged based on my sexual orientation." Efforts to support the LGBTQ staff are critical at a time when our community is coming under constant attack from people both within and outside the community we serve. Principal Greg Harris says, "Ivana is an educator who is not only extremely knowledgeable and passionate about the content, but also adept at presenting that content in a way that engages students. Ivana is also a staff member who is a fierce advocate for students, especially those who struggle to find their own voice." So now I'd like to invite Ivana to speak about the experience of teaching in North Clackamas School District. Hi, Ivana.
Thank you so much, Melinda. Thank you so much for this award. I just wanted to say a few things. I'm so grateful to be recognized for my efforts at Adrian C. Nelson High School. I began teaching because of my love of all of the sciences, every branch, but especially chemistry. Moreover, I found my calling in supporting our students, especially those who struggle to find their place at school, and in the allyship to both those in the LGBTQ plus and in our BIPOC communities. Growing up, I did not feel that I belonged at school. I was bullied for being different. I'm the child of an immigrant, and I have always expressed myself through the way that I dress. There was no safe space. There was no teacher that I could rely on, and very few of my peers supported me. With that lens of my personal experience as a student, I pride myself in how I have grown my classroom alongside our students at Adrian C. Nelson High School. It is a safe space both in the physical and in the community that we've built. My students feel like they belong. I too am thankful for all the support I've received from those around me. My parents, Vishnya and Joel, my best friend, Justin, who's also a teacher, my colleagues, and of course, our students. Teaching is among one of the most challenging feats I've faced, and I've been through such unexpected waters in these past 4 years in my career. This award shows me that the work I do is important and seen. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ivana. Congratulations. Any comments, input from our board? So raise your hand or go ahead and speak out if I miss you. I don't see. Oh, Director Way. But I don't hear you.
Hello? No?
Now I can. Yep.
Okay. It's weird. It's like if I do this, then it seems to work. Is it work? Is it?
It's working.
Okay. Okay, I'll just stay put like this, but I'll just keep it short. Thank you so much, both Melinda and Ivana, just for being here today, and also just recognizing such an amazing educator, and also serving in one of our newest high schools in our district. Ivana, thank you so much also just for sharing your own sort of personal story, experience as an immigrant student. I've also been a first generation immigrant student in my family. And so just to kind of, feel that connection is very powerful. And I know that your students will just, just be inspired just by your story. But thank you so much for being here and for sharing all of your identities with us. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Director White. Anyone else? Thank you for being so brave in so many ways and being a role model and being a woman in science, and being brave at a time when it is especially hard too. So thank you for the great work you do.
Thank you so much.
Great. Now we have a presentation with New Urban High School. Next, and I'll welcome Executive Director of Secondary Programs, Petra Callan, for this agenda item, and we'll ask you to introduce your guests or presenters. Thank you for coming, Petra.
Good evening, directors. I am really pleased to introduce Principal Ariel Hammond. She is a principal at New Urban High School and is here to share more with you about her school. Welcome.
Hello, can you all hear me? Yes, okay. The moment I've been waiting for. So I'm going to share my screen. Thank you all for having me this evening. And I'm very excited to share more about New Urban. Okay, am I successfully screen sharing? Yes, and I will go to my slideshow mode. All right, so tonight I'm going to talk to you about New Urban High School. I'm the proud principal, Ariel Hammond. So our motto is relationships for success, and you'll see that theme reoccurring through our slides. It's the framework and foundation of everything we do for our students at New Urban. Our core values at New Urban are curiosity, empathy, equity, resilience, and integrity. Our mission statement, which we newly revised this year, is New Urban strives to provide relevant and challenging educational opportunities and life skills within a caring and positive school climate by developing strong relationships and personalizing learning. Our students choose to take part in an innovative and unique educational experience that prepares them for post-secondary education and career success. Portrait of a New Urban graduate. The why. What do we hope our students graduate with? What are those skills that are going to take them to success in their career and in college and their lives? And these are the portrait characteristics of our graduates. Our graduates are problem solvers. They have critical thinking skills, perseverance, communication. They are resourceful. They have self-advocacy skills, accountability. They're inquiry-based. They have adaptability and a strong, solid sense of self-worth. A little bit more about us and celebrating our student diversity. This year, 28% of students identify as Black, African American, Latinx, Native American, Pacific Islander, Asian, or two or more. And approximately 30% of our students identify as LGBTQ+. A little bit more about us. We house several multiple pathways for student success, and we are expanding that this year and in the future. So we have several programs housed at New Urban. First is New Urban. We currently have 86 students. Next, we have the Twilight program, and that is a high school completion program for seniors. It allows seniors to attend in the evening. They may have jobs or other commitments during the day, so it's a flexible way for our seniors to get across the finish line and graduate on time. Currently, we have 20 students in that program, and for comparison, last year throughout the school year, we had 50 graduates in the program. We also have the Oak Grove Center for middle school and high school students. Last year, we served 9 students total in that program, including 1 high school graduate. And this year, we are very happy and proud to have the virtual online program housed at New Urban. And currently in the VOP program, we have 318 students. So to prepare for this presentation, it was very important to have student voice. So I spoke with student representatives and asked them 3 questions. What makes New Urban special? What do you enjoy most about New Urban? And how have you grown since coming to New Urban? And as I play these videos, at the end of the videos, I have to press next, and then it might start again for 1 second. Know that it was unavoidable, but I will try to make that little snippet as quick as possible. So first, we're going to hear from our freshman, Apple.
Hi, my name's Apple, and some people ask me what makes New Urban special. I've never really liked going to school, but New Urban really motivates me to try my best. My teachers at my previous schools looked down on me and made me feel unintelligent, but at New Urban, they make me feel better about my intelligence, which motivates me to work harder. Hi, my name's Apple.
Next, we will hear from our senior, Alex.
Hi, I'm Alex, and I am a senior here at New Urban. And people have asked me, Alex, what makes New Urban so special? I've got to go with the teachers are more understanding and helpful, and they understand where the students are coming from. They try to make it less stressful and more enjoyable. Getting that extra help is what makes it all come together. Hi, I'm Alex, and I am a...
Okay, next we have another freshman, Skylar.
Hi, my name is Skylar. I am a freshman at New Urban, and some people have asked me what makes New Urban special. Honestly, for me, it's the smaller classes, flexibility with a lot of things, lots of help. I would never want to go to a different high school. Other people have asked me, what do you enjoy most about New Urban? I really like the teachers. They're understanding, caring, and compassionate. The students are also understanding, compassionate, and not judgmental. Hi, my name is Skylar. I am.
All right. And lastly, we have our junior, Parker.
My name is Parker Mazer. I'm a junior at New Urban, and a question I've been asked is, how have you grown since coming to New Urban? I've grown because there have been countless opportunities for skill building and leadership in our small community. New Urban has offered to not overshadow our voices. With louder voices, we are all equal in that aspect. I've been able to find more of my strengths and encouraged to build on my weaknesses. I've become a better, well-rounded person and been encouraged to take risks and talking about my problems in the world and what we can do about them in our school and in our community. My name is Parker May.
All right. Thank you to our student reps. So next, I'd like to highlight one of our goals for school improvement this year. It's aligned with our district strategic plan. As a staff, we looked at the new strategic plan and found that we really would like to strengthen our relationships with the community and with families. So we are partnering with 3 key groups this year. We have committees, staff committees. We meet every 2 weeks to plan initiatives and to do outreach for families, the Oak Grove community, and alumni. So different things we do for our families. We have different recruitment opportunities as part of our student registration, our open house, and our different school events throughout the year. And this year we also have parents and Oak Grove community members from our local church come to the school on a daily basis during lunchtime, and they eat lunch with our students and they lead activities and games. And our students have really flourished with having the community members and parents at the school on a daily basis. We also partner with different businesses in Oak Grove and our neighborhood society. Last year, these partnerships led to more access for our students, such as yearbook for all students, regardless of ability to pay for the yearbook. We were able to provide that at no cost for students as needed. So that every single student for the first year at New Urban was able to get a yearbook. We also were able to provide dance attire for all students for our spring dance, and we are going to be able to do both of those things this year as well. We gave building tours to hundreds of community members over the summer as part of our Trolley Trail Festival, part of the Oak Grove Community Festival that they have every year. And our community really enjoyed that. We had staff and students leading those tours. and we are constantly recruiting volunteers and having them come in and speak to our students. We had the founder of Dave's Killer Bread. We had Dave come in recently to speak to our students, and they were really excited to hear from someone who had an alternative path. So we are constantly building those relationships, as well as building alumni relationships. Our alumni really love New Urban. And so how do we cultivate that? And how do we bring recent graduates or graduates from 10 years ago and have them share their experiences? We find that students really listen a lot closer when the stories and the perspectives are coming from, and the advice are coming from students who used to be exactly in their shoes. So we've had alumni volunteers this year come to student events such as dances, and also come to speak to students during assemblies, and they will come to our career days to speak to students as well. So along that same line, we have started more social media outreach to get an alumni directory going. And we made a post on social media, I think it was on Instagram, and it's, hey, any alumni, if you have anything positive to say about New Urban, let us know. Did you have a good experience? And the first comment within 20 minutes of the post came from James Basile. And I asked James if I could share this in the presentation. And James, if you're watching, thank you for giving me permission to share. But this is what he commented. He's a 2011 graduate. Hello, my name is James Basile, and I attended New Urban High School for all 4 years of high school. From the first day of my freshman year, when I stepped off the bus scared to death, to my final day, when I just walked around the school crying my eyes out the day of graduation in 2011. New Urban High School truly saved my life. I am pushing up to 30 years old now, and I have a wife of 7 years and a 3-year-old little girl that is just the center of my whole life. When I was a young man, I was extremely lost. I can remember my first day. We had our welcome assembly. I tried to just hide in the back hallway of the old building and just listen through the open doorway. At that moment, I can remember being in shock when Mr. Ryan Winter's hand hit my shoulder and he said to me, "Won't do you no good hiding back there, brother man." He moved me into the gymnasium for everyone to see. I was so embarrassed. By the time senior year rolled around, I felt as if I were on top. Now that I've grown and become an adult, I've begun to understand how much those days truly meant to me. This little school changed my entire life. It gave me confidence, encouragement, and most of all, the ability to step into the world ready. New Urban High School has always and always will have the largest spot in my heart. The school and staff changed me for the best. Thank you for being here for kids like me. You really do save lives. Next, I'd like to highlight the student experience. So some of the student events that we have each year include community cleanup days, where we visit local businesses in our community and our students just pay it forward and we clean up, especially businesses that our students frequent often. We have a Trans Day of Remembrance ceremony every year. We just had it a couple of weeks ago for this year. We have a Dia de los Muertos celebration. We this year started a Spirit Week because our students voted and wanted it, and we made it happen. And it was such a success. They want another one in the spring. So we're going to have 2 Spirit Weeks a year. We have a spring dance. Our students also want a winter dance, so we are planning that as well. Each year we have a winter meal, and that is next week. We have a First Friday community breakfast where our staff makes waffles, pancakes, sausage, eggs for our students the first Friday of each new semester. And we have community building assemblies. This year, we're also planning a family movie night, and we have 2 learning exhibitions every year where our students show off a final culminating project in each of their classes, and they give presentations to the community and to their family members. More about our student experience, student leadership opportunities. We have our peer mediators. We also have mentors for new students. We have our student representatives. We have the GSA, the Gender Sexuality Alliance. We have intramural basketball, and this year we are competing competitively again. And for the first year, we have intramural volleyball. So we're really happy to have all these opportunities for our students to cultivate their leadership. To highlight the student experience, I would like to highlight a couple of points from recent Youth Truth data. So as measured by Youth Truth in 2021, 92% of our students agreed or strongly agreed that they received support and personal attention from their teachers, which places New Urban in the top 97th percentile of the schools surveyed nationwide. Moreover, as measured by Youth Truth in 2021, 100% of students agreed or strongly agreed that staff and students treat each other with respect, placing New Urban in the top 99.9th percentile of schools surveyed nationwide. So respect is very, very big at New Urban. That is part of relationships, and our students feel that. They feel that it's reciprocal, and that is a huge point of pride for us. So continuing with continuous improvement, we are also focusing on college and career readiness. So starting with access to Sabin-Schellenberg, this year is the second year of New Urban students accessing Sabin-Schellenberg classes with our A-Day, B-Day block schedule now. Our students are able to fully participate in Sabin classes. This year, 1 out of every 3 New Urban students are currently enrolled and attending Sabin-Schellenberg classes, which is a 2 times increase over last year. We're looking to continue that next year. Next year, it'll be 2 out of 3. Then soon it'll be 3 out of 3. Also, college and career readiness. Our students take year-long college and career readiness courses for all 4 years of their time at New Urban High School. So now I'd like to give a humongous bond thank you. Thank you to everybody who supported our new beautiful facility. Our building is amazing. So many people in this meeting have been to it, have visited. Thank you to everyone who came to the ribbon cutting ceremony and all of our New Urban events. Thank you to the voters, the taxpayers, and the community members for funding the bond to rebuild New Urban. It is so special. And the beautiful part, as one of our featured speakers, Libra Ford, said, is the beautiful part about a new building is it'll outlast us. And it is amazing. Our students are really growing into it. We have a maker space. We have a wonderful library with a computer lab. So our students are able to accelerate their learning in multiple modalities through these different spaces that we've been blessed with. So thank you. I think I've run out of time. So I would like to just point you to a resource if you would like to learn more about the bond and more about the New Urban rebuild. On North Clackamas, the North Clackamas YouTube channel, if you look up New Urban High School ribbon cutting ceremony, you will see a 2-minute and 53-second video that walks you through the old building, the 1920 building, and will also give you a full tour of the new building, as well as snippets from the ribbon cutting ceremony. So if anyone is interested in that, it is available to the public, and it's a wonderful building. And thank you to Brian McGrew for creating that for us. And before I get to Q&A, I'd like to thank Donna for helping me with this presentation. Thank you, Yvonne, for helping me with this presentation. Thank you, Petra, for helping me with this presentation. Thank you, New Urban staff, for helping me with this presentation. And thank you, student representatives. And now it is time for question and answer.
Thank you, Principal Hammond. You are on time. That's amazing. You gave us so much information, and congratulations on all of your good work. So I'll open it up to the board. Raise your hand, or let me know if you want to speak. Director Schradel.
I love presentations like this. You know, reaching out to the graduate from 2011 and hearing his story carrying forward. You know, I felt you save lives. I, Director Schradel, as a person, Stephen, I'm so lucky to get to work with all you. The work I get to be a little piece of is so important. We shape life. We open opportunities for students. You and your staff are amazing. And now I hear, you know, because I didn't get over there the grand opening, I hear now you have pancakes and other options that I just need to time my visit correctly. Mm-hmm. And but thank you for everything you do for all the students, and well done.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for your service to all the board members. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Director Schradel. Any other comments, questions? Don't see any. I think one of my first visits to a school was New Urban, and that was the old building. And it's quite a contrast, but what you have now, but it was so needed there. And it's just great to have that new environment, but you're doing such great work. And even your statistics say the respect that you're building, helping build those relationships and kids finding their why, all of that has to do with your success. I wasn't as familiar with the Oak Grove Center for middle school and high school. I missed that somewhere in learning about programs. Can you tell me a little more about that?
Yes, the Oak Grove Center is an alternative to expulsion program housed at New Urban, and we serve middle school and high school students.
Okay, yeah, that does ring a little bell there. And the community partnerships, do you still have your community garden in the Springs?
Yes, we do, and it's right next to the building.
Oh, great.
And we're looking forward to creating a class next year where students participate and volunteer in the garden as part of a science class and earn science credit for it.
Oh, great. Okay, any other feedback? Thank you so much. It's a great presentation, and congratulations on all the great work you're doing over there.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone.
Community or board reports are next up. Customarily, board members report on their activity within the school district each month. This time is set aside for each board member to share a report, and remind you we have 15 minutes on the schedule for that. We'll begin with Director McVeigh.
I'm going to pass and save my voice.
Yeah, sorry you've been ill. Okay. Director Schradel.
I have no board report this time, but thank you.
Okay, thank you. Director Way.
Yeah, I also don't have much to report tonight. It seems like these kind of came up very quickly this month, and then I remembered we didn't meet last time. I don't know. Things have been off a little bit, so I don't have anything, Chair. Thanks.
Okay. Vice Chair Benaloga.
Thank you, Chair Bauer. Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat, I think, with Thanksgiving and a week vacation. Not a lot of, not too much activity, although, so the only thing I've been involved in recently is work on policy committee.
Thank you. And that does take a lot of time. And I know all of you are doing lots of different things. I will just mention the legislative agenda meeting that I attended, which is very important, and it coincides with the every 2 years the legislature meets. So that's a very important topic and helps us when we go down to Salem and lobby for our public schools. And that was great work that Chief of Staff in that meeting presented, and our Superintendent, Associate Principal, or Superintendent Dibley. I appreciate all your work on coming up with that with some other members. And I noticed that the preliminary budget for schools came out just this week, and it's very, very, very low. It doesn't even cover inflation. So we have a lot of work to do. So I will mention that. I was able to participate in a mock interview, and I want to mention that because that is open to our community. It's a partnership we have with juniors in our high school. So if you have skills that you can provide in time, it's great to sign up for that opportunity. So thank you, board. Next on our agenda, superintendent evaluation. Let me remind you, you'll find the timeline in your packet. And I'll first ask for a discussion, and then if we are able to move this to an action item, we can move forward. Note that the completion of the evaluation is to be shared with the superintendent by March 1st, and we will be providing individual evaluation feedback before that. So this is something we do annually. It's very important. And so I'll open it up first for discussion or question. We do this every year, and I think the schedule is similar to last year, so there may not be any questions or discussion. The committee, I'm on the committee with Libra Ford, and we will be putting your individual comments together, and then we'll meet as a board. So first, do I have a motion to move the agenda to an action item? Are we comfortable with that?
Chair Bauer, I move that we move the superintendent evaluation process agenda item from discussion to action.
Thank you, Vice Chair Benaloga. Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Thank you, Director McVeigh. Any discussion? Call for a vote. Director McVeigh?
Aye.
Director Schradel?
Aye.
Director Way?
Aye, and this, just in
Thumbs
case.
up, aye.
Okay.
Vice Chair Benaloga?
Aye.
And myself is aye. So motion passes with a vote of 5-0. Is there a motion to adopt the evaluation process for the superintendent evaluation?
Chair Bauer, I move that we adopt the superintendent evaluation process timeline.
Thank you, Director Benaloga. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Director McVeigh. Any discussion? I'll call for a vote. Director McVeigh,
Aye.
Director Schradel,
Aye.
Director Way.
Aye.
Don't hear you, but I see a thumbs up. Aye. Vice Chair Benaloga.
Aye.
And myself is aye. Motion passes with a vote of 5-0. Agenda item 6, Oregon School Board election. As a member of Oregon School Boards Association, OSBA, the North Clackamas School Board of Education is eligible to participate in the election of officers for OSBA Board and Legislative Policy Committee, and to vote on resolutions that amend the OSBA Constitution or adopt legislative priorities. It's important that we work together with OSBA to be a voice in the next legislature session for public schools. The resolution, if you can, is very much aligned with the draft NCSD legislative agenda. The board may consider ballot items separately and may decline to vote on any of them. After the board has taken action on the candidates, the board secretary will submit the vote by the OSBA online ballot. This is an action item and we will vote on 2 items with 2 separate motions. First, I'd like to consider position 8, Chrissy Wrights per Hood River County, and then we'll look at the resolution. So first, is there a motion to approve Chrissy Wrights for OSBA Board of Directors position 8?
Chair Bauer, I move that we approve Chrissy Wrights for OSBA Board position 8.
Thank you, Vice Chair Benaloga. Is there a second?
Second.
Director Way.
Second.
Yes, I heard that.
Okay, great.
Okay. Any discussion? Okay, I'll call for a vote. Director McVeigh,
Aye.
Director Schradel,
Aye.
Director Way.
Aye.
Thumbs up. Do I see a thumbs up? Yep. Okay. Vice Chair Benaloga.
Aye.
And myself is aye. Motion passes with a vote of 5-0. Now, is there a motion for the resolution to adopt the proposed 2023-24 OSBA legislative priorities and principles.
Chair Bauer, I move that we adopt Resolution 1, the proposed 2023-24 OSBA legislative priorities and principles.
Thank you, Director Benaloga. Is there a second?
Second.
Director McVeigh, thank you. Any discussion? I'll call in a vote. Director McVeigh,
Aye.
Director Schradel,
Aye.
Director Way.
Aye.
I see your lips moving.
Aye.
There, I got it. Vice Chair Benaloga.
Aye.
And myself is yes. The motion passes with a vote of 5-0. Any other discussion or? Thank you so much, board. We got through this in record time. I appreciate you. I appreciate people in our community listening and learning with us together. May you all have peaceful and restful holiday season, and please take care of yourself. I now adjourn this meeting at 7:37. The public meeting of North Clackamas School Board of Directors is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.